Life here at Laguna Honda is it's kind of like a big family.
Laguna Honda has changed my life from the past a big way. Not only medical-wise, but how to deal with things and kind of keeping me out of trouble.
It's a totally special place to be. I mean, it is a sense of community and it is a sense of ownership. They choose to sit next to each other. They form friendships. We've had people meet here and fall in love and get married.
So Laguna Honda is pretty unique. It's a part of the Department of Public Health, so it's a public hospital, and that's sort of an unusual animal these days. We are a safety net organization, so that we really are here for people of San Francisco who need that kind of care.
I was tested positive in Alabama back in '88. When I did come out, my mother just went crazy in Alabama. I mean, she was very southern, worried about what everybody thought about you and everything. So I knew it just wasn't going to be good. It got to the point of where it was like I could only touch certain things. If I drank out of something, it could only be one glass. Same thing with silverware. The scary part is I felt like it was making me feel more blamed and feeling bad that, number one, I was gay, and now number two, that I'm HIV positive, and losing a whole family. Stayed away from my parents for quite a long time. Finally, I missed my mother, and we got a little closer, and then not long after that, she became ill. She got cancer. So I went home, actually. I moved back home for a while and took care of my mom till she passed away. Because, just because of what I went through with her. When I came out, I still loved her. Just, she just needed to be taken care of. And I was worried about if I ever got that way, which at that point back then, I thought it was going to happen. Who was going to take care of me? My treatment in Alabama was completely different. Yes, I was diagnosed with blood work and by a doctor, but the medicine that he said to take, I didn't go to, like we have here in the city, a Walgreens to pick up my medicine or anything. It was completely different. All my medicine, I went to a private house that I would go in and literally just pick up the meds. When I first arrived in San Francisco, I was in a hotel. All you had was, number one, a sink in your room and a bed and a dresser. That's it.
Tell me about the headache. So I saw you, I think, a week or two ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you were definitely not
like this,
yeah.
No.
So
It got worse, though, after, about a week ago. It started getting worse.
how about here?
That's bad.
That hurt?
Yeah.
Is this painful at all?
No.
No? Okay.
In 1989, we accepted our first person with AIDS. And very shortly after that, the AIDS unit opened. People sadly died pretty rapidly. Yeah, it was before medications became more readily not just available, but that they were working. So we had people, some days we'd have 2, 3 people die.
Actually, when I first got there, I didn't know where I was at. And I didn't feel good. I was like, where am I at? I don't know anybody. I'm scared. I actually tried to leave myself. And so I tried first to walk out the door, the unit, and I was stopped several times. So I'd go back in, kept thinking. Days later, I went outside and I actually tried to climb the fence in the very back of our little courtyard. Yeah, this was up there, and brings back memories. So after that, I actually had a CNA, a nurse, sit with me. Not quite 24/7, but just about.
Waiting for you. I'm gonna get some water first. You can see over here. You can see in the corner. I'm gonna put this one over here. Oh, you did not put your lipstick stick.
I know. I gotta put my lipstick on. I love Mr. Rogers. I've loved him ever since I was a really small child. He's a Presbyterian minister, but that's not how he presented himself on television. He presented himself as Mr. Rogers. He'd come on, he'd say, "Hi, I'm Mr. Rogers, and today we're gonna go to the land of make believe." And then he'd do these puppets. He had a puppet show, and he did the voices and the characters of all these different puppets. It was really neat to see a grown man doing something like that, you know.
Okay. So you breathe in after. Close your mouth. Okay. I'm gonna put remember your nicotine.
Yeah. My husband's here. He has HIV too. So we get to hang out a lot together. When I first came here, you'd never know it to look at me now, but when I first came here, I was really, really skinny. And I was very weak. Oh man, was I weak. I couldn't even get out of bed. just this past 6 months, I've been able to walk on my crutches, which I haven't been able to walk on my crutches for a long time. And so me and my husband, we're both in wheelchairs. We both live here, and we both like it a lot here. It's a really nice place. And when I get strong, when they think I'm strong enough to make it on my own out there, they'll find me a place to live and put me there. Same goes for my husband.
We're out of here shortly because Susan wants to be there by 2.
When people get admitted to Laguna Honda, it isn't just because they happen to have one diagnosis of HIV. They have co-occurring disorders of substance use or mental illness or involvement with criminal justice.
One I put around him.
Yeah, gonna get the medication, and I really, really, really hope that this works out for him. Sometimes they get discharged, and it's wonderful, and they come back and they volunteer, and they're in great shape, and good things happen. Other times they get discharged, and either maybe they relapse on drugs, and then with that they forget to take their meds again and get sick again, and they come back, maybe short stay with us. Sometimes they just damn get sick and they come back and they stay. But we're open to all of it, you know? We're happy if they come back for short-term tune-ups, because maybe they weren't at that point when they first went out, maybe they weren't ready.
And move it over here a little bit, and I come in and out.
And
After a long few days.
he's gonna.
One thing that would be really great would be to have some kind of assisted living, kind of in-between housing, which doesn't really exist here for people on a Medi-Cal. We see people come in, they get better, usually, and then we are faced with the fact that they don't really need to be here at Laguna Honda anymore, but we don't have anywhere for them to go because they've often come from the streets or from a marginal housing situation. It's very hard to manage a chronic illness even if you have a house and an organized life. As anybody knows who's tried to take a 7-day course of antibiotics, you know, it's hard to do. But imagine having to do that for years and years while living on the street.
So, you want to go through the discharge paperwork with me?
I want to do whatever I need to do to help you out to get out of here.
You want us to get out of here? Well, okay, you put it nice and...
No, I mean, I know you want to get out of here.
I've been here at Laguna Honda for about 15 years now. In 1981, I was diagnosed HIV positive. And I don't even know how I got the HIV. It was just, you know, all of a sudden one day I'd gone to the doctors for one thing and found out another. And it was very surprising, and I was a little shocked and scared, and, you know, thought I had days to live, and here I am years and years later, still alive and still going strong.
Okay. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning.
Everything is okay?
Everything is good. I haven't filled out my...
Don't forget that one.
I will
So
not.
I have here your medication and you have your water.
Yes. Would you like these to go one by one?
It's up to you.
Okay. I take about, I'm going to say 18 pills.
Not really 18.
Yeah.
Maybe 15.
Yeah, 15. My mother's passed now, my father's passed. And my other brothers and sisters have been married with kids, and, you know, they have their lives going on. I have been asked to come and live with any of them, but, you know, I prefer to keep this away from my nieces and nephews. They're not scared of it. They come and see me all the time. Just I would rather to keep them, you know, safe. She's been my nurse for a long time, and she, we get in our little fights. We get along really good, but we get along. We have little disagreements at times. She's like a sister to me, as well as my nurse. More of a mother than anything else. And but yes, it's my life here at Laguna Honda has been good. I'm glad I'm here, and I hope to be around for a lot longer.
My task at Laguna Honda, number one, this is my big thing. Number one is listen to the residents, because I may talk a lot, but I do listen. I ask questions, especially new residents. I'll sit and ask a question, and some don't talk to start with, but then after that, they, you know, they kind of hook up and they talk like crazy. I'm thinking I'm giving lessons. But, you know, speaking with the residents, finding what they need, try to support them. My big thing is if a resident needs something, I try to take care of it, or either get them who they need to talk to have it taken care of. It's actually not all because of me is why I'm there. It's for the residents, because I know what they've been through. I know what they're going to go through and what they need to do. My big thing is to kind of help and lead them in that way. Yeah,
There's a lot of really good programs here. I'm part of the art program, and some of my pictures are hung up in the hallways of Laguna Honda. And I learned how to use computers since I've been here. And I also take part in the exercise classes. And they have a chapel here. They have a swimming pool.
I don't have any food. Don't peck me. The residents like the farm because the animals a lot miss their pets. That's why, like, we have cats, and we have ducks, we have rabbits. What?
Here's your cup of medication, Miss Pamela. And here's her orange juice.
There's no Amtrak in this, is it?
Help yourself here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
My name is Pamela. And I'm here in the pasta care unit. As you all know, I'm HIV positive. And I stay here because I have no place other to go. And I have 3 beautiful children. And I love them dearly. My parents passed away when I was a child. I miss them most dearly. I do believe in God or the higher power.
Okay, it's almost ready. So I got the bed wet.
The young woman who came here, who used to live in a tent, when she passed away, so many of the other residents came and talked about what a special person she was, that the small little things that she did for them, none of the staff knew about. But like her boyfriend would bring her cigarettes and potato chips or whatever. And if somebody, another resident, was really very alone, she would make sure that she shared with them. It was lovely. That was sharing whatever resources they have.
Laguna is very good about making things better for you, and so if you're not ignored, if something's bothering you, yeah, just let them know and they will do their best to take care of it.
I'm here with my family at Laguna Honda, and yes, it is a big family. I have lots of brothers and sisters here, and life is good. Life is good.